In the beginning of December, Supergiant Games revealed that there will be a sequel to the ever-popular video game we all love, Hades. Following this announcement, I felt like it was the right time to take a moment to look back on what an amazing success the original game was and what made it to be just that. It is extremely likely that you already know about Hades, but a short description without too many spoilers would be that it's a hack and slash roguelite that's set in a universe based on the Greek mythology, where the main character Zagreus, the son of Hades, battles his way out from the underworld with the help of the gods, trying to reach Mount Olympus. The story advances throughout each escape attempt and doesn't end even after fulfilling the main goal of escaping the underworld. It is considered to be one of the best games of 2020, receiving many awards and extremely high ratings, making it an enormous hit of a game. I will talk about how successful the game is and analyze why is it so successful. I've seen some videos talking about the success story of Hades, but most of them seem to be focused on the indie coolness perspective of the game, with many clips of behind the scenes action of the developer meetings, voice actors playing guitar and so on, and I agree, all of that is super cool. But that is one of the reasons why the game got so popular amongst indie game enthusiasts. But indie games rarely make it to this level of mainstream success, yet this one has made massive waves and can definitely be called mainstream game at this point. It also had the appeal of people who aren't necessarily into the indie gaming world, including myself. I haven't enjoyed many indie games, but I absolutely loved Hades, and it is definitely my favorite single player game overall. This is why I'm going to focus on why it was actually successful, instead of just being loved by indie gamers. So let's start off by taking a look at how successful it actually is. My favorite metric to measure how universally loved the game is its Steam rating. For Hades, it's sitting at 98.58% positive with over 210,000 reviews. Let me paint a picture of how big of a deal this is. If we take a look at all games on Steam with over 200,000 reviews, there is only one game that is rated higher, and that is the legendary Portal 2 at 98.78% positive. If you haven't played Hades, it might sound shocking to you that it's done better on this metric than most super successful games, such as Stardew Valley, Terraria, Skyrim, Cuphead, and every single From Software title, including the Game of the Year 2022, Elden Ring. And to prove that the critics also love it, it has many wins and nominations in every reputable video game award show, including many Game of the Year awards. So, okay, the game's a hit, we get that, but how does it compare to other roguelike or roguelite games? Although Steam considers Hades to be a roguelite game, it is actually not, mostly since it's missing permadeath and turn-based movement. Instead, a more fitting term for games in this category would be roguelite. The definition of a roguelite is a subgenre of roguelikes that has most of the game design philosophies of roguelikes, but also has at least one progression element that persists after failure. Other popular roguelike titles include The Binding of Isaac, Noita, Spelunky, Dead Cells, Enter the Gungeon, and so on. The first thing I'd like to point out is that Hades is a lot more popular than the previously mentioned titles. So why did Hades succeed in this genre where not many do? It comes down to a few very important factors. Firstly, Hades is the least punishing amongst its competition. Roguelikes and lights are often defined by their hardcoreness, which is why, as you would guess, hardcore gamers love these games. Yet Hades is perfectly balanced between hardcore and normie friendly. The game is extremely hard to perfect, but it's very easy to pick up. In no other game it takes so little willpower to just start another run right after dying. Secondly, Hades has the best graphics and design in its own category. The vast majority of games in this genre are 2D, including Hades, but Hades shines among these with its graphics, which might not be that impressive, considering how popular are pixel art games among roguelites. And thirdly, but most importantly, it has much higher production quality, which brings me to the next point. This is the most important part, why the game is successful, not only among its genre, but in the whole industry. So listen up well. If you only take away one thing from this video, it's this fact. Hades is ridiculously high quality in every category of game design. It can barely be put into words. There are so many amazing things about it, and it just gives goosebumps in more ways than a video game should be able to. There are some things that I'd say Hades has done the best in the whole game industry, but most impressively, there is nothing that it has done subpar. Literally every part of the game is great. The flow of the game is so well thought out. It's a user experience masterpiece. The combat is so satisfying. It's easily my top 1 hack and slash game. The art style is beautiful and unique, which makes it extremely pleasant to look at. The music is amazing. I don't think I've ever cared about game soundtracks this way. I loved reaching Eurydice just because of her songs. Everyone who has played Hades will also agree that the story is phenomenal, and the storytelling is second to none. I also love the fact that they use Greek mythology, which makes the whole story so easy to get into, as everyone is already at least somewhat familiar with the characters. The performance of the game is great, and gameplay never feels clunky. There is basically no so-called dead content in this game, which means everything is necessary, usable, and always feels like it belongs to the game. And lastly, not only it has implemented these, but all of these are polished to an amazing level. So this is why I feel like Hades should be included in every must-play video game list ever made. If you haven't yet, you must try the game out, and it is likely that you will also join the rest of us waiting for the sequel, Hades 2. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed my analysis. Of course, if you enjoyed, drop a like and subscribe. It helps out tremendously. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.